Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. It's May 17th. And I'm here with a tropical storm update. We do have newly formed Tropical Storm Arthur. It's formed last night. Um, it's going to be affecting portions of the East Coast. Tropical storm warnings have been issued for North Carolina. So we're going to be looking at that today. But yes, please subscribe, leave a like, and comment. I would appreciate it a lot. Let's try to hit 210 by the end of May. I'm going to be posting every day. For the rest of the month, I guess, posting every day. But let's get started here. So this is the cone. This is the cone that the National Hurricane Center has put out, or the NHC. Tropical Storm Arthur, with the advisory is Sunday, May 17th, 2020 at 8 p.m., which was an hour ago. Intermediate advisory 5A. You can see the cone is not expected to become a hurricane. But by tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be right off the coast of North Carolina to the east of North Carolina at 2 p.m. tomorrow. And then 2 a.m. Tuesday, it's going to start making a right turn tomorrow afternoon. And it's going to make a right turn and kind of make a turn towards Bermuda. It's likely going to go a little bit further to the north. And by Tuesday afternoon, it's going to be already way in, or further into the Atlantic and not likely going to be affecting much more of the coast. And then Wednesday, it's going to start, the speed might start to slow down, but it's going to move this is going to be a more quicker moving tropical storm. And like I said, I'm not expecting this to become a hurricane. None of the models have this as a hurricane, which I agree, because the waters in this area, they're pretty cold. They're not really the best for any development. And you can see the wind field right now. Tropical storm wind field's in this orange color. It's mainly to the east of the low pressure system. So we can see some of it might hit areas in North Carolina. We go to the wind speed probabilities. Coastal North Carolina, some of coastal North Carolina has almost a 50% chance of getting tropical storm force winds. We can see a little bit of 50% chance right there on the coast, a little tip. And 20% chance going all the way a little bit further inland. I think it's about 20 miles inland in North Carolina. And even a little bit of southern New Jersey and maybe southern Delaware and southern Maryland right there has a 5% chance of getting tropical storm force winds. So very unlikely, but maybe. Let's look at the wind history. We can see kind of how it's getting, the tropical storm wind field's getting bigger, as you can see right there. On U.S. rainfall potential, this is just the rainfall from the actual tropical storm, not from any other system coming by. But you can see 2 to 4 inches in this darker green color for a lot of North Carolina, or not a lot of North Carolina, but a lot of coastal North Carolina right there, a good amount. 2 to 4 inches of rain according to the Weather Prediction Center in this area. And then 1 to 2 inches of rain from this tropical storm in this area here. That is what the National Hurricane Center is saying. Now let's look at the tracks here. So this is the track, the predicted hurricane models, what they're predicting. So kind of the spaghetti. You can see a lot of the models have it going kind of curving out right tomorrow, 24 hours out, which is at this time tomorrow, it'll be kind of to the east of North Carolina right there, and it's going to make a right turn and go to the north of Bermuda, but making a turn towards Bermuda. So most of the spaghettis agree with this right here. But one of these models, the HWFI has it for some reason doing that. I don't think that's really likely because none of the other models are saying that. I think the most likely track is this. It's the most likely track. Then where it goes after that, it's kind of hard to tell. It's about 6 days out. But let's stick with the GFS model. So right now it has 45 mile per hour winds. It has a 997, around a 9. Well, we can actually see that here. We can go to, I think the GFS model says it's 997. It's probably like, right now it might be 1,000. This does not talk about that at all. Thought they had the low, like the last year they had that. I guess they take that away or something. All right, well, it's around 990, 990s, 997. Let's just say that. By tomorrow morning, it'll be 992 tomorrow morning. The GFS model has this a little bit quicker. It's going to be right off the coast. Literally right off the coast of North Carolina. I mean, see, North Carolina is getting hit with some of the outer bands, actually some of the closer bands, closer to the eye wall. You can see right there. Yes, I don't think this thing's going to have much of an eye wall. It's only a tropical storm. It's not going to be that really put together. It's most likely not going to have like a well-defined eye. But as it goes tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be at 988. And then 990, it starts to weaken as it makes that right turn and goes further into the Atlantic. Now let's see how strong this thing is actually forecasted to get. So it's like at the, where is it? 10 millibar wind here. So right now, you can see we have some deeper kind of reds right there. So about around 42 knots. That's around probably 50 miles per hour. That's kind of how it is right now. The GFS model actually has this thing a little bit in the stronger side here. By tomorrow morning, they have a little area to the east of North Carolina. We see North Carolina, the coastal regions, might be getting, kind of see some yellows, which is around 29. They might be getting some wind speeds of around 30 to 35 miles per hour, maybe gets up to 40 or 50. As you see, it gets closer, it moves up to the north, and this is kind of when it's going to be at peak tomorrow afternoon, 988 millibars. We can still see it's the same strength, around peak wind speeds according to the GFS model of almost 60 miles per hour. As we see, that kind of extent starts to weaken, and it starts to get a little bit wider as it starts to weaken. The wind field gets a lot bigger as it weakens, as you can see right there. It's not as tight anymore. But actually, as this thing moves into the Atlantic, the center of it starts to weaken, but it's not actually weakening. You can kind of see 60 knots in here. So that's about almost 70 miles per hour of wind, according to the GFS model, which I think kind of might overdo it a little bit. Let's get a little better of a area here. There we go. And then we can see it really starts to kind of fall apart. Tuesday afternoon, it really starts to fall apart. So it's probably going to fall apart by Tuesday morning. It's going to start falling apart. The GFS model kind of has the track all out for you guys, like that. And doing my best drawing right there. So yes, now let's move on to a different topic: severe weather. Well, we're pretty much looking at this every day now. So for the day 4 outlook, this is for, it's Wednesday here. Areas of eastern Montana, eastern Wyoming, northeastern Colorado, western Nebraska, western South Dakota, and western North Dakota. The SPC has issued a 15% risk in those areas. Kind of a small area, kind of a very long area, not very wide at all, but they have issued a 15% risk. So that right now, that means slight. And normally, if they have a 15% area, that means enhanced risk. Once you get closer to day 1, they're probably going to do enhanced risk, but sometimes it ends up as a slight. 15% means slight risk. But yeah, we go to Wednesday evening and kind of start to see in the NAM model, we start to see some thunderstorms, maybe severe, blowing up in eastern Wyoming. And as we go later, maybe even northeastern Oklahoma, we see some right there. And as we go later here, we can see those blow up in that area, southeastern Montana now, and they move, and really can't look after 60 Thursday, but you can see might hit Rapid City, and portions of eastern Montana and eastern Wyoming, right there. So convective products. I want to look at the ML Cape here. Yeah, Cape isn't on the extreme side, but it is there. 3,000. Some areas almost 3,500 winds. And the Cape kind of quickly gets eaten up in South Dakota. So I'm expecting storms will probably weaken in this area. But they're going to kind of expand north, and there is some better Cape up to the north in the evening hours, or the kind of the overnight hours Thursday morning. We see Cape of almost 1,000 to maybe 2,000 still hanging around in northern, kind of right around the Canada border right there. Let's look at STPs here. Yeah, they're not that high, only about 1.2. I don't really like to look at that much anymore. Supercell composite I like to look at. Gives you an idea on maybe where the best supercell could be. So the highest numbers I'm seeing is here in eastern Wyoming at 8. You have an 8 right there. And maybe later in the evening where we have that higher Cape in this area, could see still maybe 5. So there still could be maybe a chance for some supercells during that time. And there is going to be some severe weather across the east tomorrow and pretty much for the rest of the week. Not like that whole area, but mainly in this area. We can see on Wednesday we have a lot of supercell composite in this area, or a decent amount. But it's not as significant as this, most likely. So yeah, we're not going to be talking about that in this video. We're just talking about this. Now capping. So the cap Wednesday is going to be very strong. I'd say. I don't really care. Sorry about that, y'all. The cap is going to be very strong, which could make the cells more discreet. Instead, it's going to be better. But it might be a little too strong. Right now, we can kind of see 60 Thursday. Cap is still, lid strength is still around 5. So the cap is going to be very, very strong in that area. So that could, we're going to have to keep an eye on that because tomorrow we might, if the cap kind of weakens a little bit, that could mean something completely different. Let's look at? Let's look at lapse rates. We're going to look at mid-level. So mid-level lapse rates, they are pretty good. 0-0-Z Thursday. The southern area, that complex, we could see some supercells developing in, kind of in that area right there. We have 8s. And as we go, we have the highest supercell composite up here in northeastern Montana, where the high Cape, around 7, which isn't bad. It's not the best though. But that'll wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoy the tropical update and the severe weather update. Please subscribe. Let's try to hit 210 by the end of May, like I said, I think. Yes, peace out.